paratroopers, cloud hoppers, sky guys. No feathers on these warbirds, no wings on these angels, but they're terrific on the flying tackle. This job is top secret. We're taking off from an American airfield somewhere in Europe. Where we're flying to is secret, but what we're flying in is not. These beautiful planes, looking like giant seagulls in the morning sky, are C-47s, paratroop planes. The workers back home who shaped and forged the precision parts, the motors that drive these planes, can never have pictured them on a mission as magnificently large scale as this. We're nearing DP, drop point, coming close to our unnamed destination. When the jump signal is given, these boys will take that first big step down. In no other war have soldiers been called on to fight like this. But some of them will die in the same way that soldiers have always died. The secret operation is a secret no longer. This is the beginning of the liberation of southern France. The victorious drive that blasted the Nazis from Marseille and Toulon started with the American sky troops in that field below.
Suppose you had helped take back Chicago, or Detroit, or Pittsburgh, or San Francisco, or Dayton from the Japs. We did win back a piece of America this summer. We, all of us, our Marines and infantry doughboys, our sailors and flyers, and another group, our millions of home front war workers. Yes, we won back and came back to Guam. A sand-swept pencil dot on the Pacific, but as much America as our great cities or the plains of Kansas. Guam, the first American soil the Japs stole from us, 3 days after Pearl Harbor. For 2.5 years, Guam's radio was silent. Then we launched a wave of precision earthquakes, made in America to free this far-off American soil. We were coming back, and we were making no secret about it. For 17 days, we squatted in the Gray Sea and announced our arrival with a crescendo that rose on D-Day -1 to 25 tons of bombs an hour. Then, like a flock of comets, our Amtrak streaked to shore, facing the attack. Their course was as swift and sure as the course of our shells that kept sending Jap hopes up in smoke. Our landing parties flew to shore, backed up by materiel made in who knows how many American cities. Weapons and equipment which might have delivered blows at Marseille or Michigan, but many months before were earmarked Guam. Watch this direct hit by a Jap shell. Our men were proud of this job. Well, they knew they were going to free not another exotic Pacific shore, but an American outpost, built and lived in by Americans, and for which fellow Americans had sacrificed their lives. Our dive bombers zoomed overhead, neutralizing Jap installations. was the same feverish swampland we had plowed through in other islands. But this was ours. This was part of America. And there was heart as well as muscle behind every shot we fired here. Ship-to-shore shelling and aerial bombardment had blasted almost all the Jap defenses, but there was still mopping up to be done. We had to hunt down the remaining Japs, smoke them out, one by one. The Japs held on with their suicide stands, which we must always expect. We went into the caves after them, on this island that looked like Saipan and smelled like Tyrol. An American soldier felled by a Jap sniper. It was to take almost 3 more weeks of this before the last Jap was ferreted out of Guam. And 1,000 Americans died on this distant plot of American soil. We massed the Long Toms for one final drive. They blasted the enemy north to the hills. They shook the earth with anger. It was the roar of these big guns which quieted all Jap resistance. Coming home, and we would rebuild the tragic barracks which housed our Marines 2.5 years ago. July 25th, 1944, Guam spoke triumphantly to the world again.
This news is from Radio Guam. Nothing heard from you since 1941. Greetings.